Some builds feel strong, some feel smooth, and then there are the builds that feel like someone accidentally flipped a switch and turned your Warlock into a void-powered engine that never stops moving, never stops healing, and never stops deleting everything in front of you. And that's exactly what this Nezarec's Sin setup delivers, because once the loop kicks in, your chaining abilities non-stop, keeping Devour up almost permanently, and wiping rooms with Vortex Grenades, Volatility, and Weaken effects before enemies even know you're there. Nezarec's Sin takes all the void damage you're already dealing and turns every single kill into a burst of ability energy, keeping your grenades, melee, and class ability constantly refreshed while you keep pushing forward without slowing down. The entire build becomes this smooth, rapid-fire rotation where every void interaction fuels the next, and the result is a Warlock that feels fast, aggressive, and incredibly hard to kill in any activity. Welcome to Insightful Gaming, and if you want to play this build with me, join the Discord in the description. Come hang out, run activities, and feel free to join my clan if you're looking for a team. Now let's break down how Nezarec's Sin supercharges your void abilities and why this setup feels so powerful the moment you start using it. For our exotic armor, we're using Nezarec's Sin, and this helmet is the engine that accelerates the entire void playstyle, because its perk Abyssal Extractors gives you a surge of ability regeneration whenever you defeat enemies with void damage, which in this build is happening constantly through your weapons, grenades, melee, and weaken effects, so your abilities never sit on cooldown for long. Every Vortex Grenade you throw, every Volatile explosion you trigger, every weaken kill your void abilities produce, each one feeds right back into your ability energy, letting you chain grenades, refresh your rift, and keep Devour up through Feed the Void without ever running dry. Nezarec's Sin doesn't change the rotation, it simply makes the entire loop faster, smoother, and far more relentless, giving you near-permanent uptime on the abilities that define this build. For our weapons, we're starting with Compact Defender because it pairs perfectly with Nezarec's Sin, since every void kill instantly feeds Abyssal Extractors, and with destabilizing rounds spreading volatility across entire groups and thermal atomization stacking extra explosions and bonus damage, this primary keeps your ability regeneration maxed out at all times. For the special slot, we're using Praxic Blade, which is incredibly strong this season thanks to its ranged heavy throw that seeks out targets and recalls back to your hand for rapid follow-up attacks, giving you flexible burst damage without ever interrupting your void flow. And for the heavy slot, we're running Time Lost Corrective Measure, for its combination of destabilizing rounds and demoralize, letting you spread volatile explosions while also applying Weaken, though any strong void heavy works here if you prefer something else. Altogether, these weapons ensure that nearly every kill you get is a void kill, which means Abyssal Extractors is always active, your abilities are constantly recharging, and the entire build stays in a non-stop combat loop. For our subclass, we're running Voidwalker with Nova Bomb Cataclysm as the super to give us massive long-range burst damage and effortless room clearing that fits perfectly into a build built around Weaken Chains and Devour uptime. Our class ability is Healing Rift to keep us alive during aggressive pushes. Our melee is Pocket Singularity for the ranged knockback and reliable Weaken application, helping you trigger Devour and ability regeneration through both Feed the Void and Abyssal Extractors. Our grenade is Vortex Grenade because Chaos Accelerant supercharges it into a huge lingering damage zone that continuously weakens, groups, and deletes enemies, letting you chain Devour and ability energy almost instantly. For aspects, we're running Chaos Accelerant to empower your grenades and make them significantly more destructive, and Feed the Void. Our fragments are Echo of Undermining to make your grenades apply Weaken, Echo of Remnants to extend the duration of your Vortex Grenades, Echo of Persistence to keep Devour and Void buffs active longer, and Echo of Exchange so melee final blows return grenade energy. All of this ties together into a rotation where grenades weaken, Void Souls drain, abilities recharge almost instantly with Nezarec's Sin, and Devour keeps you alive through every encounter. For your stats in this build, you want to maximize weapon stat first because once you push it over 100, you gain smoother handling, faster swapping, and up to 15% increased weapon damage, which makes every void kill more consistent for triggering Abyssal Extractors and keeping your abilities constantly regenerating. After that, you focus on grenade stat, so your Vortex Grenades come back quickly enough to fully benefit from Chaos Accelerant's empowered damage and to maintain frequent weaken windows that feed both Devour and Nezarec's Sin. Finally, you invest in your class ability stat, so Healing Rift stays reliably available. With all three stats pushed above 100, the build stays fast, deadly, and endlessly self-sustaining. For our armor mods, we're building entirely around feeding grenade energy, rift uptime, and orb generation, so Nezarec's Sin can stay active as close to 100% of the time as possible. Starting on the helmet with Heavy Ammo Finder to keep your heavy supplied for sustained void kills, Ashes to Assets to turn grenade final blows into super energy, and Harmonic Siphon to generate orbs from rapid void weapon kills, which is incredibly easy with Compact Defender. On the gauntlets, we're using firepower to produce orbs when your grenades get kills, Grenade Kickstart to immediately refund grenade energy the moment you throw one, and Bolstering Detonation so your grenade hits also feed class ability energy, helping you get your rift back quicker. On the chest piece, you simply slot the resistances needed for the activity, giving you more breathing room to play aggressively with Devour and Vortex Grenades. On the boots, we use Innovation to get more grenade energy from orbs, Recuperation for instant healing from orb pickups, stacking beautifully with Devour, and stacks on stacks to double your armor charges and extend the uptime of your kickstart chain. Finally, on the Warlock Bond, we run Bomber to reduce grenade cooldown whenever you activate your Rift, Outreach to feed melee energy back into your loop, and Reaper to create an orb of power on your next weapon kill after dropping Rift, ensuring your entire engine of orbs, weaken, and devour never slows down. For our seasonal mods, we're only picking the perks that directly amplify our void loop and make Nezarec's Sin even more consistent, starting with Power from Pain, which gives you Devour from rapid final blows against weakened targets, creating a nearly unbreakable survivability engine since your grenades, Void Soul, and weapons are constantly applying weaken. Next, we take Singularity Blade, which becomes extremely strong when paired with Praxic Blade because while you have a Void Elemental buff, your melee and sword hits weaken targets and your final blows create weakening bursts, letting you spread debuffs all over the battlefield without relying solely on grenades. And finally, we take Void Infestation from the last column, which causes any defeated weakened enemy to spawn a tracking projectile that flies out and weakens another target, essentially keeping a chain of weaken effects active even when you're focusing on movement, repositioning, or firing off abilities. This is the end of the build video, and thank you for sticking around. If you want to run this build with me, or share your own setups, join the Discord in the description. Come play some activities, and feel free to join my clan if you're looking for a team. Thanks for watching Insightful Gaming, and I'll see you in the next one.